Hello, it's Anne Marie with AM Astrology, and I wanted to look at King Charles' chart and to do the 12th harmonic and just see if there's anything indicative of what he is dealing with right now. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, come on. Hi, honey. Hi. Okay. Hi. So this is his birth chart, November 14th, 1948, 9:14 p.m. Leo rising, of course, he's royalty. So we've got the sun in Scorpio, all of this in the fourth house. The sun is just under the 5-degree rule to go into the fifth house. So fourth house, home, family, heritage, inherited things like ancestry, etc. So all makes sense. South node right there. He has a Taurus moon. That 0 to 4 degrees of Taurus Scorpio is apparently very significant right now to all of the royal family. Probably because Pluto is at 0 degrees Aquarius, so the fixed cross there. So right away we can say Pluto is squaring his moon. That's not good. So anyway, let's look at his solar return for this year, or for 2023, which is the year that his birthday was in, November 23. And in this chart, so if we're looking for health concerns, okay, so he is ruled by Mercury because it's a Virgo rising chart. And so Virgo is here in the 3rd house, which is cadent. So, and the sun is there, and Mars and the moon. And they're all cadent, which is fallen. It's lacking some ability to do what is necessary. And it's also in Sagittarius, which is in its detriment. So Mercury is not doing well for this year for King Charles. We look at the 6th house to see any health concerns, and Saturn is sitting right on the cusp. So again, that's not going to be good. And it's a night chart. So Saturn is the malefic against, or not insect. So Saturn is the greater malefic in this chart and sitting right on the cusp of the 6th house, ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is up here in the 8th house of death and anxiety. It's pretty close to that cusp, though, into the 9th. So we'll just acknowledge that it's up in that direction. So those are all concerns. The planet that rules him is in a quincunx to the ruler of the 6th house. And the quincunx, or the 150 degree, is a health aspect. So because you can't see, like the ascendant can't see, these are in conjunct, can't see those houses or that from that angle. That's where that aspect comes from, is not being able to see it from the ascendant. So what else do we want to talk about there? Neptune right on the descendant, that kind of feels, opposing the ascendant, just setting, going under the horizon, drugs, or like prescribed drugs or whatever. Something's going to be, something. It also adds a sense of cloudiness, illusion, confusion elements to the situation, because it's also ruled by Jupiter here. Okay, so then we're going to look at this is the 12th harmonic for this month. I maybe should have done one for January, but I don't know if you've watched my other videos, but the 12th harmonic is when you move the sun from the solar return one sign ahead or 30 degrees ahead. So if we're looking at the solar return here, which is when the sun gets back to the same degree that it is on the day you're born, and then we're moving it ahead. And for this 12th harmonic, we've moved it ahead from Sagittarius, right? No, Scorpio. From Scorpio to Sagittarius to Capricorn to Aquarius. So November, December, January, February. And we're at the 6th of February right now. So he just, yeah, we probably should be looking at the January one. Let's look at the January one. I'm sorry. Let's go back to this chart and view solar returns, natal. Okay, options, 12th harmonic, current, 1 or 2. No, that's, okay. All right, here's January is good. Okay, so January, I haven't looked at this yet. So January, the sun is in the 2nd house. He's ruled by Mars, and Mars is in the 2nd house in exaltation. So that's good. The 6th house is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in the 1st house, moving into the 2nd. So nothing concerning there. 8th house is Mercury. And Mercury is approaching Mars, but so that's death is approaching life. Ooh, that's scary. So death is approaching life. Illness is approaching life as well. Illness has Jupiter right on the cusp. So that's interesting because Jupiter then becomes the ruling planet of the 6th house in the next month. So that's interesting. So for the January 13th chart, then we go to the February one. And this is the one where he's ruled by the sun, because it's Leo. So again, solar, royal, ruled by the sun in its detriment in the 7th house, which is open enemies. It's medical professionals like the surgeons. And the 6th house is ruled, look how full the 6th house is. So that's definitely, you know, health concerns, ruled by Saturn, which is in the 8th house of death and anxiety. So, and the 8th house is ruled by Jupiter. So this is kind of the opposite, where Saturn, I guess in his natal chart or the solar return, but now it's Saturn that's ruling the illness, and the sun is in detriment. So we want to see who's stronger. Is the illness stronger or is he stronger? Well, the sun is in detriment, and Saturn is in Pisces. It's a day chart. So Saturn has triplicity rulership. So Saturn is stronger, which means the illness is stronger. We can look at pages. Okay, so here we can see the sun is -10 in Peregrine, and then Saturn is +1. So the illness is stronger than he is. Okay, so what else we want to look at here? Oh, that's the January one. That's the solar return. Okay, lost now. Everything's out of order. Here we go. Okay. So all of these planets in the sixth house of illness, the illness, Saturn, is stronger than the life. And then let's look at Jupiter, because Jupiter rules death. And Jupiter is up here, the most elevated planet in the chart. And if we look at the, how strong is Jupiter in this chart? -5 here. Okay, so death is not that strong, but the illness is strong in this month. And if we look at the moon to see where things are going, the moon is applying to a sextile with Venus and then Mars, but it's a pretty wide sextile. So Venus rules the bottom of the chart and is intercepted here, ruling death. And Mars rules the public, the reputation, the reputation and his job and being in the public. And it also rules this intercepted fourth house, which then adds, so the fourth house can be, if I want to be really bad, it's the end of the matter. Okay, we'll call it that. Okay, so then we'll look at next month, and everything's above the horizon, so that's good. The sun is now in the 9th house, so it's cadent, it's fallen away from the midheaven. His life is ruled by the moon in Aries, in the 10th house, intercepted, so that's something. Illness is ruled by Jupiter, so now we're flipping back again to Saturn ruling death and Jupiter ruling illness. So Jupiter is in the 11th house, getting really close to that conjunction with Uranus. And Saturn is in cadent in the 9th house. So let's look at the pages and see. So the moon is -5 peregrine. Saturn, no, wait, we want to look at Jupiter first. Jupiter is the illness, -5 peregrine. Saturn, -5 peregrines. Nobody's doing, this is kind of a bad, nobody's doing good. Nobody's doing good. You see that? -5 peregrine for the moon, -5 peregrine for Jupiter, -5 peregrine for Saturn. So that's, yeah. And then if we go to April, real quickly, ruled by Mars. Mars is in the 4th house, conjunct Saturn. Wow. So Mars also rules the illness. And then Mercury rules death with the moon right there on the cusp of the 8th house of death. Mercury is, oh my gosh, Kazimid. No life. Well, is it, if it's a Kazimi, that means just coming into the light, and the king is seated with the king. In the 6th house, though, of illness. So completely combust Kazimid in the 6th house, and that's death. Wow. Wow. That's pretty not good. April 11th. So this chart for April 11th, the sun, which is a natural signifier for vitality, is completely combust with the ruler of the 8th house of death, with the moon right there in the 8th house of death. And Mars is separating from Saturn. Saturn rules the 4th house, the grave. the end of the matter in the third house. Mars rules the life and the sixth house. So it's almost like the illness has brought him to the grave. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just reading charts. Again, my disclaimer, for entertainment purposes only. I'm a student of astrology. I'm learning, and these are the things that I'm learning. I'm learning to read charts, and so I'm just looking at the charts to see what they say. And this is all public information. I'm not sharing private information. You may find it disrespectful to be considering these things. I'm just reading charts. I'm just practicing what I'm learning. Okay, so I would just say for the next few months, things look pretty grave for King Charles, and I do wish him the best. It'll be interesting to watch to see if he decides to, is the word abdicate throne to William, and we still haven't heard anything on Catherine. So it's very interesting times over there in England, right? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little exploration of King Charles' chart, his solar return, and the 12th harmonics. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. Would love to hear them. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. So thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.